years ago today, he scored the most recognized goal in Canadian sports history with 34 seconds left in the game. Here to tell us all about his latest campaign, a children's book called Greatest Jersey Ever. Please welcome Paul Henderson.
Can we say what Paul just said? Yeah. You have to tell us what you just said as we're watching that replay.
You just muttered under your breath watching this history in the making.
I scored 7 goals on that series. 6 of them were really nice. The only garbage goal was the last one. We've had to watch it for 44 years.
Timing. It's like real estate. Location, timing. This is very important.
Only you would call that a garbage goal because people say it was the greatest goal of the century. Set the scene as to why this is a story that not only congratulations on the 44-year anniversary, but why should it be retold, and why are you starting this Kickstarter campaign with a book to tell the story?
Well, I wish it was my idea, but it wasn't. But they came to me with a project that I do a kid's book to educate kids about what the series was all about. And so the whole story is grandparents who love the 72 series. They got 2 grandchildren, a 9-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy, and they buy them sweaters and they tell them the story, the highs, the lows. And the greatest thing about me, I've got grandchildren now. In fact, I'm a great-grandchild, too. Wow. So this is to educate them. But one of my favorite pictures is I have a picture of my two grandsons here, and they figured this out on their own, 1972. And so, lest we forget, we're going to do a kid's book so people can pass on the history of it and the Cold War and all that kind of stuff.
Well, what's so interesting about this is that this story has been retold. And for me, it was when it was passed on to me, because I wasn't around for the original goal, was 2002 when it was the 30-year anniversary. And there was a bunch of specials done, and I remember buying the DVDs and everything. So when you're doing this book's a little bit different because you want to make sure this book is all Canadian, right?
That's exactly. This is a Canadian book. And we talk about where our flag came from. So everything published in Canada, illustrators, writers, everything that helped us do it, they're all Canadian. So this is very much a Canadian project and passing on the legacy of the history of Canada and what makes us proud. We've been talking about, what makes us Canadian? Well, hockey, I think, is one of the things, among others. And so it's a little fun read. And people, like, you read to your kids all the time. We did, Mike Leonetti, a friend of mine, did The Greatest Goal. So now it's going to be The Greatest Sweater. And the sweater sold for, this is how sharp I am. I gave the sweater away, and it sold for $1.27 million U.S. So
who did you give it to?
I gave it to our trainer.
Didn't you ask for a cut? Like,
yeah, can you get 10% of that?
Yeah.
Come on.
That's the most a jersey's ever fetched. That made world records.
Yeah, it did. But you see, I had 6 concussions, so I have an excuse.
You were sharp as a tack, but that guy owes you some cash. And let's set the scene as to why this was such a victorious win. Because Canada versus Russia, we were the ones who were supposed to take it, and then we fell behind. We only had 1 game of the first 4, and we had to win 3 consecutive wins, which seemed like it wasn't going to happen. And then you scored Game 6, Game 7, Game 8, and boom, you helped make that history happen. What were you guys going through at that time when you knew you had to make those consecutive wins?
I said to my wife, if we don't win the last 3 games, we're going to be known for losers for the rest of my life. So, but it was just set up the drama. I mean, it really did set it up for the whole country. And that's where the country really got behind us, because if we'd have blown them out, it would never have been relived this way. So, I played 18 years of pro hockey, and that's the only goal I ever scored in 18 years, because that's the only one I ever remember. So it was good for me.
Listen, I'll tell you this. You just mentioned that you had the DVD as a young one.
Oh, yes. I still have it.
My 9-year-old nephew is like, Paul Henderson's coming on, and he's 9. So we do need to tell these stories. We do need to definitely get this thing going, and it's going to start today, and no better than our audience to help you do that. So what you guys have to do is go to greatestjerseyever.com, and then you'll see the Kickstarter button where you can contribute to help bring this story to life. And you are larger than life and so kind. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Enjoy your grandchildren. And how do we treat a legend? We say, come on and pet a skunk.
Yeah.
That's what we do to celebrate 44 years.
And we show his garbage goal on television, too, right?
There you go.
Wait for the 45th. Wait till you see what we have planned. Kev, over to you.